Anytime I have to go on the ground, I'm out.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, guys, well, it is 11:30. We are on to our new week of Lunch and Grows. We're so excited to have Megan today. And I can't even tell you, I'm leaving some surprises at my sleeve unless you were on my Zoom this morning. You might have heard of one, but we have some great trainers. I'm try to drop it every once in a while, but oh my goodness, y'all, we're so excited. And Megan, we're excited to hear from you today. So I'm just going to let you take it away. I will watch the chat. So when you're finished, we'll check back in with the chat and we'll ask questions. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. Natasha and Susan are like people I've watched for years and loved. So I'm so excited. This week I decided to stalk Natasha. I'm not sure why. Do you ever do that to people on Facebook where you're like, I just need to see who that is? And so Natasha, I would like you to know that I ordered my L'Ange Duo this morning so that I can have amazing hair. Did that. And I just love watching people on Facebook because it's so fun to see like who they are. And sometimes I have to go back and study them before I jump on their Zooms. But so I'll give you guys a little background about me. My name is Megan Shaughnessy. I'm actually in a small town in Jordan. In Minnesota called Jordan, about 20 minutes south of the Twin Cities. It's cold here all the time, yes. And I was a first grade teacher before I started Thriving. So message the teachers that your children have at school today and tell them, hey, I heard this lady who used to be a teacher and she loves Thrive. You should give it a try. I was tired all the time. I would come home and nap at 4 o'clock every day. I saw a friend posting about Thrive. She was kind of just an acquaintance, to be quite honest. I wasn't really friends with her, Rachel Verachka. I was actually friends with her husband. And I decided to message her. One day she posted that she had Thrive samples. And I said, give me one of those right now. What she didn't know was that I had lost 80 pounds when I was in college. And I had always been a supplement junkie. That's what I would call myself. You name it, I've tried it. I lived at GNC. They have a special locked box where I would be like, I'll take whatever's in the locked box this week. Nothing ever stuck, but I would try everything. So when I saw somebody post about Thrive, I was like, I'm in, I'll try that. I took my sample all wrong. I told her it was way too much energy for me and I just needed to pass for now. But when I was gonna really start working out, that I would message her. I lied. First grade teachers like everybody to feel good. And, but I kept watching her and she was like amazing on Facebook, you guys. She just stayed consistent. She would cheer me on. She would send me nice notes about things I was doing, never asking about Thrive. And finally one day I'm like, I gotta just do a full month. She is still talking about it. And so I ordered, took it all wrong. But she also, right, I just was like, oh, I've had these replacement shakes. I could do that later today. I think I want to eat lunch today. Just did it all wrong. But she posted about getting free Thrive. And I remember she said, if your friends and family want to thrive with you, just let me know. I will hook them up and you can be thriving for free. Well, I am the queen of Kohl's Cash, free things. Let's do it. So my sister and my mom were like, we'll try. You can't have all the fun. So I actually was thriving for free before I felt good. And they had like day 1, day 2 experiences. And so I followed up with Rachel. She got me on a 3-way call, got me taking it right. And really never thought of it as a business, you guys. I just thought free Thrive is awesome. She told me, well, now you have free Thrive, why not some commission? Do you see how she's baby stepping me into it? I was like, yeah, I'll take that commission. And I clicked promoter and, just really felt a genuine passion for the product and shared with my close friends and family pretty quickly. I was a little bit shy on Facebook. Our team went to 200K in 11 months and it was life-changing. I'll tell you that, just completely life-changing for me and my family. After 3.5 years, I hit the Millionaire Award. And, our team is just incredible. I love every bit of direct sales, network marketing, Lavelle, Thrive. I am their #1 fan. So that's a little bit about my story. And today I just wanted to share, I know that when we first started talking about this, we kind of went through the idea of like sharing what we learned from that legacy leadership retreat. And I was lucky enough to get to go, which was awesome. And literally being in a room with people that have been a part of this company forever and are just incredible people to watch on social media and see grow. But what I was sharing with my team when I left that event was there was like I wrote them down. There's 4 things. So I want you to write these down. 4 things that I took away from that, because I'm like, you guys are going to give me a high five when you see this. I went to that retreat thinking they're going to tell me all the secrets on how to get a, new customer every other day, and how I'm going to make this go, from 500K a month to 5 million a month. I'm going to get all the answers and all the secrets. They're going to tell me that right now. I just know it. I have my pencil ready. I got my planner ready. Darn it, they didn't give me all the answers. But there is no answer. That's the answer. But when I looked around the room after that retreat, I really did think, what can I take away from this that is something that is powerful about all of these people? Because you just have people who are just, all of us are so different, yet we all have had this success with this amazing company and these products. And the longer that I follow some of the people in that room, the more I think they have 4 things that I think are so important. Okay, ready? Number 1, their story is really strong. And they don't go a day without sharing that story with somebody. I heard Maria say, gosh, so I've been doing this 5 years. In the first year, and she continues to repeat it, if you haven't heard or told your Thrive story today, heard a Thrive story or told yours today, that's your fault. That's your problem. You need to be tapping in and hearing stories and sharing your story every single day. That's an eye-opener for me. There are days where I don't. There are days where I spend my time, folding laundry, getting groceries, checking my social media, but I'm not doing the basic of sharing my story and reminding yourself how powerful your story is. So get your story really focused, resubmit it to the fan page. Do that like every year, even every 6 months. Like, share your story. It's so important. And that, people say emotion evokes action. And I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't wake up every day thinking, what am I going to put in my cart in Amazon today? It's like an emotion, right? Like, it's a moment where you're like, oh, I'm having a moment. Let me just open my Amazon app. Let me just look at what I'm going to buy today. Like, it's an emotion, right? That evokes that sale. It's an emotion that evokes somebody to message you. I got a message this morning after I posted, and it was like, hey, I want to jump back into Thrive. My daughter's getting married. That emotion evoked her to want to take action. So when you're posting and when you're sharing your story, the emotional part is what's important. Day 1, I didn't feel anything, took it all wrong, right? But when I started on day 3, I hadn't taken a nap. I wanted to tell every teacher in the world, you don't have to nap at 4 o'clock. There's a way. On day 10, I touched my carpet and played with my little 3-year-old. I don't think I'd ever sat on my own carpet that entire time. I was napping. I didn't have time to play with him. So those emotions for me were really huge. And so tap back into that emotional piece of your story, and then share it that way on social media. That's what I see with those people that were sitting in the room, you guys. I know their stories, and I know those little emotional pieces because of what they say on social media, right? Maria says, the first Christmas I had paid for. That evokes an emotion inside of me. Those things are important. So that would be number 1, is get a really strong story. And your story doesn't have to be like mine. You hear my story is like a complete mess. I didn't do it right. But know your story and know it well. Number 2, they're all connectors. Okay, honest to God, there were 60 women there. That'll make anybody anxious, right? Well, I'm not the Maria Dillard. I'm not the, Kim Collins. I'm just not that person that everybody's looking at and knows, right? So I had to kind of step outside and say, like, hi, I'm Megan. That's hard, but I am a natural born connector. And even in the toughest situations, I try to find a way to connect with people at a human level. So find that time in your day. Like when I'm at home, like nobody knows what 200K means in my neighborhood. Nobody cares. They just know that I have black Cadillacs and that I'm home all day. They're not really sure what I'm doing. But when I go out to the store, like smiling at people, intentionally friending people in my town, we all want that secret, and we want that answer. We want to find that way to open the door to 100 new customers. It's in out your front door, you guys. It's at your kid's school. It's in your neighborhood grocery store. It's, you know, going to the football game on Friday night with my 2 kids who are in school. I got to take my phone, tuck it in my pocket, pick my head up and smile at the lady who's taking the tickets because she volunteered to be there. She must be a good human. She's probably friendly. At the mom who's, you know, sitting next to me at my kid's basketball game. My next door neighbor, Lord knows they're not thriving because I haven't said it yet. You know, you don't need to go out and find ample amounts of leads anywhere that's a secret. You just got to like friend and comment and like and engage with humans that are near you. I think I listened to a YouTube video from Natasha the other day, and she was like, 4 things she does before she asks somebody about Thrive. And I'm like, these seem so basic, but they're so true. Like, friend those people, and then don't be the weird lady who like says, hey girl, you want to thrive with me? Like, simmer down, have a couple conversations first, and then move into it, right? Like, sometimes I have to remind myself, what would I say if I saw this person in real life at the grocery store? Would you send that message? Would you say that? It was great to see you on Friday. It's awesome you volunteer for the town and collect tickets. You know, my daughter really likes your daughter. It was great to meet you in person, period. I promise you, if you are loud enough on Facebook, they will ask you. And if they don't, then 3 or 4 conversations get in there, right? Like, it'll come up because they want to know why you're home all day. They want to know what's important to you. Thrive will come up. So number 1, know your story. Number 2, connect. Connect with people every single day. I think Natasha said she sends 30 to 40 messages a day of just like, great to see you at the football game. Hey, where'd you get that, you know, those crackers? I really need to find them. I got to watch my carbs this week. Or, you know, oh, Susan, you went to Gladiator. Tell me about that. Can I do it online? Can I do it in my garage? Because I can't leave my house. Don't want anybody looking at me sweaty. Make connections and think about how you can help somebody. Like, before Thrive, I was a helper. That's what I would say. Like, somebody needed a daycare. I know people. Somebody needs a certain type of, you know, food. I'll tell you where to go. So be that connector every single day with the intention of really making friends. You can't go into it with like, I don't know what it's called, commission breath, like breath of like, I'm coming at you, just wait. Go into it with real genuine thoughts of like wanting to connect with people. And if you're shy, figure out a way to make it more comfortable for yourself, you know? So they tell their story, they're connectors. This one's important, you guys, and I think I really, really feel so firmly about this lately and so strong about it. They're loud and proud on social media. And they're not trying to hide their products. They're not trying to ask you to message them privately. They are saying, Thrive is incredible. Get it, message me, let's do this. They are sharing fan page stories all the time. They are posting about their products every single day. They don't take a day off. They're not listening to people who say, oh, you should like dabble in your product a little bit and then post a little bit. No, I know exactly who they are. They're sharing that, but they're also sharing about Thrive every single day on their social media. Like, I have followed a lot of them. They are posting it in their story every single day. It's sometimes they'll even think like, man, these 200Ks are killing me. They are just like, I can't even keep up. I love that idea of being so loud and proud that then when you meet the lady at the grocery store, they can't help but ask you because it's everywhere. It is like an omnipresence around your social media, right? So they're loud and proud. But I would say that they're loud and proud with also being a person. So I don't know who taught me this, you guys, but somebody did, and I love the idea. You should be able to name 5 things about you, and people should be able to see you and say, here are her 5 things. Here's what describes Megan. And so I make it a goal to like, people can describe me in 5 things or less. So for me, it is, you're gonna love this, animals. I got a stray cat right there behind me on the counter. Oh, there she is. Animals, I love animals. Kiss my dog on the mouth. Number 2, true crime. I am obsessed with true crime podcasts, murder. I'm also very afraid of the dark. Animals, true crime. My family, my kids and my husband are always gonna be on my social media. Thrive, and I don't kitchen. I don't cook. So if you go to my social media, I hope you get those feelings from me. Like, you know who I am. I am those things. And then I throw Thrive at them. weaved in part of it, not part of it, it's always there because it's such a big piece of my life, right? It's not quite as, my podcasts aren't quite, listening to true crime isn't as big as Thrive, but I got to weave it all in or they don't think I'm human, right? And I am human. We're all human. So make sure people know who you are. And the weirder, the better. People love to say to me, I know you kiss your dog on the mouth. There she is. Yes, I do. Right? So be yourself, and try to be as you as you can be. But being loud and proud is really important, you guys. So ever since I went to Natasha's newsfeed, I'm gonna have to stalk Susan today. And ever since I've been to Natasha's newsfeed, God darn it, if I don't see her shouting people out on the Lavelle fan page every day now, because of that, because I was just intrigued by looking at her. Now I see she's constantly welcoming people on the Lavelle fan page. She's constantly shouting people out on the Lavelle fan page, and it's showing up in my newsfeed. If I wasn't thriving, I would really be intrigued by it because she's just it's an omnipresence around her. She's also doing her hair, but that's not, that's a piece of it. I really want to know what's happening over there because it seems like she is moving and shaking. So I think those things are something I took from everybody in that room, is they're just so loud and proud on social media. That was a huge one. All right, let me see. Let me take a minute break. I'm a teacher, so it's really hard to talk at you without you giving something to me. Okay, so put it in the chat. Give me from 0 to 10. How loud and proud do you think you are on social media? I'm seeing some 7, 7, 8. Good. 8.5. Oh, I like 8.5. 11, somebody said. 6, 6. So there's room to improve, right? It's hard for me to say 10 because there's always a day where I could have been better. But you really want that to be the overarching feeling people get when they go to their page is this lady is human and she loves this Thrive. I should try it. That's really big. Thank you for sharing those. Okay, and the last one, connectors. So story, connecting, loud and proud. The last one that I wanted to put in there is just massive action. Is something that I think every person in that room could take me back to the moment where they had massive action to get themselves success. And I would venture to guess that most of us are still taking massive action every day. So I love the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, love it. But I think massive action looks like 5, 4, 3. I think Natasha said this in her video too. It looks like 5 times 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want massive growth, you got to take massive action. And so having 30 conversations a day, although that sounds extreme, you got to touch so many people before you're going to get those few. One of my favorite books is called Built to Last. It's just by another network marketer, and he's not in Lavelle. I believe he was with Beachbody, but doesn't matter. Built to Last. It's a short read. I listened to it on Audible. I loved it. And he talks about how you build a network marketing business to last. And it's a great book. But I think it's in that book where he references, as a direct seller, a network marketer, your job is, what you have to think about is you're sitting in the stands of a professional football game and there's 1,000 cups down on the field. And it is our job to flip over those 1,000 cups. Think about it that way. I may have flipped over my first 10 and gotten 3 cups that were rock stars, and I grew to 200K. That was really what I got. I was so lucky, not lucky. I was so quick to flip my cups, right? I found some leaders really quickly. One of my hugest leaders is on here, Talia. Where is she? There she is. She was just in the magazine. I flipped her cup pretty quick, you guys, and she blew up. But I had to flip more cups because I had to offset that red leg. I could have sat back and whined about it, but I had to keep going. I had to keep flipping so that I could keep growing. My cups might be in the beginning. We had a leader on our team who was 4K for 18 months. She kept flipping cups. And at that 18-month mark, she went to 200K over the next, I think, 8 months. but she was 4K, up 4K, down, maybe not even 4K, 4K, 2K, 1K, 7K. 18 months later, she hit that team moment where she grew to 200K. So her cups might have been in the middle. You might have felt like you've already flipped over 800 cups. You still have more to go. Keep flipping. And so, that really is the key, is to just take massive action. Now, what if I had flipped 20 cups, gotten my friend Talia, who's doing awesome, but then sat back in my seat and said, I'm just going to rest here for a little bit and see how this goes. You can't really take breaks. That's the key. You got to stay in that massive action place for a sustainable amount of time to really see growth. Paul came to Minnesota once and spoke, and my friend says he looked her in the eye, right? This is one of my direct promoters. She said he looked her in the eye and he said, give me 90 days. Give me 90 days of action and I will show you 12K. I kid you guys not. She called me the next day and said, this was before 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got my action. I got my things I'm going to do right here. I'm going to do this for 90 days. And I thought, well, okay, here we go. I don't know what I can do, but you're going to work for 90 days. At the end of 90 days, she was 12K. And she continues to this moment, that was probably, 3 years ago, to get that out of bonus every month, which is life-changing for her and her family. So, that 90 days was enough to really get her to that place of seeing growth. It wasn't just 2 days, though. It can't be one. You can't post tomorrow, like do an epic post and then fall off the wagon for a week and a half. You got to keep that massive action going. And I think that group of leaders that was at that retreat, that is one thing I would say about them, is they all took massive action and continue to take massive action every day. I'm probably speaking for them, but I do believe it. I see it all the time. They're taking massive action. So if there's something that I can pass on to you guys to take away today is connect, get back to the basics. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I totally was that lady who bought herself a nice, I won't even say the number, website and all that stuff. And all of those things are great. And maybe there'll be a season in your business when that comes. But the truth is, when I was going 0 to 200K, I was back to the basics. I was connecting with people every day, getting them a free account, sharing information about the products and stories with them, connecting them with a leader when they got their box of Thrive or got their sample, walking them through those first 10 days, letting them know there's no difference between a customer and a promoter. If they hit promoter, my only goal was to help them hit VIP 800 and repeat. And if we can get back to that place in massive action, I do think that there is magic in those simple things. So I got Susan.
Awesome. So if you've never heard the phrase like take massive action, it was even in the chat. It's the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. Now, I would not recommend listening to that book while you're driving because you'll just go faster. Like he's crazy exciting, but that's awesome. So
say that.
Recap. Let's make sure strong story, share it often. If nobody hears your story, nobody knows you sell Thrive, they're not going to buy from you. There you go.
They're going to buy from me. That's what I tell people.
They're going to buy from somebody who they're like, oh,
your friend is going to message me because I'm so loud on Facebook.
Be a massive connector. You are so right about that. I can't stress that part enough. Be loud and proud and take your massive action. So absolutely loved it. I've been checking the chat. They were basically just responding to you. And how loud they think they are. So guys, do you ever just put a crazy thing out on Facebook just to see if people answer to kind of get your algorithms up? That would be a good one today. Hey, if you had to describe me in 5 words, what are 5 things you know about me? And see what people say about you. Are you a thriver? You're an Aggie. You own a golden retriever. You're a mom. You're a wife. Things like that. Am I loud enough about those things? So that would be a good, just regular post today to get some interaction. Pay attention to the ones who are not thrivers so that you can make sure you start interacting with it.
Right.
For that. I mean, that's a good idea, but I think I'm loud, but I'm about to find out if I'm really as loud as I think I am because I'm going to be scary and go post that.
Yeah. And I think too that there's always time places to grow. Talia says this all the time. Never peak. Well, isn't that the truth? Like just because you haven't been consistent on Facebook or shared your 5 things doesn't mean you can't do it starting tomorrow. Doesn't mean you can't start taking massive action tomorrow. I think Sheila had Starla interviewing somebody on her call last week, her leadership call, and it was all about, she had just kind of hung back and then decided to come back and went 0 to 200K just quickly, but she just decided, just because you missed a moment in time doesn't mean you can't restart, reignite. Yes, the book is by Collins, Built to Last. I love that book. It was really good. That book talks a lot about too, you guys, like, you can have it. This is not a science either. There has to be an art to it. So you have to be human. That's the art piece. And then the other art piece is, who are you connecting with? A lot of times I have to say to myself, are you connecting with low-hanging fruit? Or are you connecting with that person who you think would be incredible in this business? You would love to be laying next to them on a beach chair in Cabo in February, and they are just an incredible connector themselves. Who are you connecting with on Facebook is so important, right? And those people are really the ones that are going to be just amazing business builders with you. If you're constantly like, ooh, I know I can message my cousin because she always says yes to me. Great. But are you also connecting with those really quality people that are going to be awesome thrivers? And then maybe they'll be open to what the business side has to offer. You always want to lead with the product. I do believe that. Like, I don't think I could sell anything without loving it. That's just me. I think if you're 90% of the world, that's where it has to start. Sprinkle in posts about your business, but at the end of the day, people don't wake up wanting to join a network marketing business. They wake up wanting to feel better. You got to lead with that.
There you go. I'm excited. I'm nervous because I'm about to post that on Facebook, but I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm going to be like, oh, that's not me at all. I better change my tune. Or what? The main thing I think I'll shout out about me and nobody said it. So, Okay,
they might be scared to say thrive. Then they know you'd message them.
Hey, and talk about those you did about how hard it seems to be like in a numbers game and get so many messages out per day. I talked about this on my 7:45 Zoom this morning, but I had a promoter say, how do you hit 30 people a day? That's crazy. I get lost in the scroll on Facebook. And I said, okay, when you pick up the phone or you get on the computer and you're scrolling on Facebook, be very conscious of what you're doing. And every time you start to like a picture, don't like it, actually say something about it. That is how you connect with someone. I guarantee you are seeing 30 people's posts, non-thrivers, every day. I know you are.
And that's a reach out.
You gotta be conscious about it.
Yeah. To me, that's a reach out. If I have a non-thriver and I can write a real comment, I count that as my reach out. I want 30 of those a day. Hopefully half of them end up in the messenger because I'm going to ask them a real question about what they posted. But those are really how this starts, I have done it the other way. I've done the cold messaging. Hey girl, you want to thrive with me? Times 100. I did it. I got some responses. I think I get more if I really start to get those, connections.
Well, you're building a relationship with them. But I also think if you go up into the stories and you literally actually comment, not everybody else can see your comment, but it goes straight into their messenger, guys. You could knock that out. Cool.
You're in their bedroom.
You need to be able to manage your messenger because it's going to get out of control. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Think about the post as like being in their living room. Their posts are their living room. You're in their living room, you're chatting, you want to get in their bedroom. Like, how many people do you let into your bedroom, into your closet? Not very many. That's the messenger. You got to feel comfortable in the living room, get in their closet. See what they have going on in there.
Great analogy. There you go.
You're not just going to invite somebody to come look at your closet, right? You got to start in the living room.
That's true. All right. Well, Megan, thank you so much, guys. I'm about to download this recording and get it up so you can get it out to your team so they'll know the 4 things that they should be doing every single day. Be loud and proud about being a thriver. Yes. Thanks, Megan. Everybody have a great day.
You guys have a good Monday.